Some things to note while you're disassembling everything is note how your brake line is installed, because it could go on either way if you really want to try to, but make sure that you know which way yours needs to go back on. And notice how the hard portion of your brake line is bending outward from the handlebar, which would be here. Okay, make sure it's reinstalled the same way. Also make sure that you replace these brass washers here. Okay, and inspect everything. You know, if your brake line looks frayed or really dry rotted or just nasty, you might as well replace it, because if you're going to go this deep into a repair like this, you might as well, you know, replace it all. Otherwise you're going to have to go back to it and do it again. So, you know, why bother with all that if you're already in here? And looking at the caliper assembly, got it all disassembled here. Here's your bleeder valve. When we get this off here, now this is, like I said, this is a 2004 bike, so it's got quite a bit of hours on it. Look at all that kind of rusty buildup right there. This is what happens when water gets into your brake fluid, which happens over time. Just moisture builds up from heat, condensation. Another good reason to, you know, to rebuild this every so often, because moisture in your brake line is not a good thing. So we'll have to clean this off with our steel bristles on our bench grinder. And we'll also replace this little cap as well. It comes with our little kit. Our little rebuild kit comes with that cap. Comes with the brass washers. Okay. So next we're going to take our air gun, and you'll insert it right there where the brake line would go. And then we're going to put a rag right through here, and we're going to ever so gently push the pistons out from right there so that we can get in there and remove those seals and clean it up and get it ready for reassembly. So we'll do that next. Alright, we're going to put us just a small rag in here, because when we apply air to this caliper, these pistons could come flying out of there, so you want to be careful with that. You could definitely injure yourself if they came flying out like that. So we take our rubber air gun right here, put it right where the brake fluid, where the brake line would go. Okay, point it away from you, of course. Make sure your fingers aren't in between there as well. Okay. Of course, your bleeder needs to be installed in order for it to seal up properly. Alright, so get your hands out of the way, keep the rag there. You hear it knock like that. Here they come. Made my rag a little bit too thick. That's fine. Okay, let's cover them up again. Just do it carefully. Okay, now notice. Okay, notice the sealed end is what goes inward towards the assembly. The open end faces outward towards the brake pads. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Set her aside. Okay, cover it up again. Let's get the other one out. Alright, the trick is just to be careful and make sure everything is sealed properly when you're removing these guys. Don't use any tools to remove these pistons. Only use your hands, because we don't want to scratch them for sure. Okay, and they're the same size, so it doesn't matter as far as which one goes in which hole here. The issue is, of course, the sealed end is what points towards the assembly. Okay, so we'll set those aside. Take a look inside there. Okay, we got these two seals that we're going to replace. And we're going to also just give it a good general cleaning, but we're only going to use clean brake fluid as our fluid to clean this off. Okay, we don't use any solvents or anything like that. And also make sure you take a look in there, see if there's any metallic debris or any serious issues in there. I do see a little bit of debris down in there. If you have trouble bleeding your brakes, you know, when you're trying to do new brake fluid and bleed them, and if you're having trouble with them actually bleeding through, that often means these seals are in bad shape here and the piston is having trouble moving to get fluid pushed through. So that's what I've found. If I am unable to do an easy brake bleed, that usually means the caliper probably needs rebuilding. And to my knowledge, this one has not been done in several years. So we're going to get these seals out of here now.